So speaking of what's next, what if you have that vacation you're taking soon, right? You don't have vacations here.
So what?
But the Tweetsie Railroad's the only vacation we get to go with. It's a road trip, baby. But when you're flying with your guitar on your airplane, it's a terrifying proposition.
It can be.
It shouldn't be so scary. And we want to reach out to all of our friends that work in the airline industry and all of our friends that are part of this deal. Please help us. You know that you have to know that the guitar is close to someone's life. It might be their livelihood, but beyond that, it's a personal thing.
Even if it's not, it's just they're very sentimental.
And it matters more than John and Jane Smith's socks and underwear, I think.
I think that's true. I think that's fair.
And if something needs to be checked, please check that. I'm just talking to the people that work in the airline industry. It's like, well, this is over. So then, anyway, I've had so many good experiences with people. Like, we understand, we'll get to in the first class, like we'll put in the coat closet. Yeah. Or if you would travel a lot.
I used to fly all the time, like do little fly dates, and that was the norm, right? And for a while it was, we'll put it in the coat closet. That sort of went away at one point. They were like, we can't do that. But if you would just walk on with your little gig bag, you could always no one would say anything, and you could always find a spot on top of people's carry-ons in the.
I'd always try to get on first. Actually, I'd bring my soft case, and then I'd put it up there. And then when people came with their bags, I would take mine out and be like, hey, can I put your bag in for you? And I'll put my guitar on top of it. Usually a piece of cake. Now that's it's slammed in there, so it's harder to find room for it because the flights are all jam-packed. I get it.
They're all overbooked. Yeah.
But
I don't know if I get that, but okay.
No, that's a whole other issue. During the Obama administration, I was going to say inauguration because I was there. Boy, that was cold. I wanted to die. I took the Pinecrest High School Orchestra to that trip. I was a chaperone.
Sounds like a great time.
Man, that was fun chaperoning. It was just fun. We had to get drug tests and everything. I terrified the headmaster when they were like, oh God, we got Baxter drug test. Is that gonna be a problem? I was like, I didn't say anything. They're like, is that gonna be a problem? I'm like,
what are we testing for?
Not for me. Maybe for you. But
I have no problem.
The parents already know you're coming. I'm like, anyway, so during the Obama administration, I remember it happening this time. They put into the Trade Commission that your guitar, your instrument takes precedence. It's in there. You can find it on the interwebs. You can have it on your phone. I used to save it on my phone. That your instrument takes precedence to anyone's luggage as long as it's within a certain parameter, like the shape of a guitar or a violin.
Yeah.
Or thing. It's not a cello and a bass is a different thing.
Right.
Or a drum set. Or a Hammond.
A little different.
No, but a guitar, it can fit in the overhead bin.
Yes.
It can fit in the overhead bin. So
yes,
you have that right. Now, do the airline people that work in the airlines want to acknowledge that?
No. I feel like there was a point where they did.
They did for about 8 years.
And the trick too was just pretending you were supposed to be there. You had to just be confidently walk on. That was the trick, right? And I never even thought about it until recently.
Because you've had recent experiences where what happened to you?
I'm doing my little thing, got my little guitar, got my tiny little personal item pedal board. Which is actually really, really small.
Good for you.
And then
downsizing.
I'm walking on. Wait a minute, sir. We're going to need to check that, she said to me. And I was like, I can just stick it in the overhead. They weren't having it. They were like, nope, we're going to, write me the ticket, do the thing. I've had that happen before where they wrote me the ticket and I still just walked on and just put it in the plane.
I've done that too.
But not this time. They were watching. They were paying attention. So after some, back and forth, I may have gotten a little snippy.
It happens because you're talking about your livelihood and things that are personal and thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Thousands of dollars. And I bought up the, all this, guitars are an exception. Like I can bring it on. She's like, no, you can't, blah, blah. So we, I was very polite and nice. But
you are very polite in general.
Then, we argued a little bit about that. So my guitar, which if I know it's got to get gate checked, I'm going to bring a totally different type of case.
You were in your soft case, weren't you?
I was in, and it still was a nice case. It was the little Gator.
Double one,
I didn't have the double one because it was, I don't bring it flying because that doesn't really fit awesomely in the overhead, right?
Like a mini cello.
So I had my little Gator Transit Series gig bag.
And
guitar survived.
Okay.
Because it was a Telecaster and they could just throw it in there with nothing.
A Telecaster can survive the apocalypse.
Right. Which is part of the reason that I fly with a Telecaster. But still.
You don't fly with your 335.
No, God, no.
Like one little bam when they drop it, like that neck comes off and
I have multiple friends who have they've broken the headstock off of their 335. Like no damage to the, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, the case is destroyed. It's just they open it and...
Well, and this all kind of came up again just because we saw like John Prine's son was traveling with one of his guitars. And it was like an older Epiphone. And it got damaged pretty heartily in the transit. And then there's those older videos where the guy had his like 335 where like the airline just destroyed it. And they weren't going to pay for it. Because the airline wants to give you the gumption that, well, we can't pay for it. You should have known not to bring this. But it's my job.
How am I going to get to where I'm going to do this job? Yeah.
I have to bring it. I'm sorry.
Which brings up a whole other question about backlines and renting things and how you travel and what's the best way to do fly days. That's maybe another video as well.
Well, and I always appreciate like if somebody could provide me a backline, 100% all the way.
And I have done fly dates where everything was rented, guitars, everything.
And I like it. I have no problem with it. I don't have to play my rig.
It's not my favorite, but I can do it for that.
It's my favorite because I can just bring a book in my bottom. And
that is nice.
And that's a book in the bottom. That's
doesn't even bring extra underwear. He doesn't need them.
I did when I went.
Doesn't need them.
When I went, when I flew to Philadelphia to see Zach Person when he was auditioning for American Idol years ago. I got this little, just had a little overnight bag with some underwear and toothbrush, and that's pretty much it. I just wore one outfit. And I got, and my wife dropped me off at the airport, and I got out, and I totally forgot my bag. So I was underwearless,
just you,
toothbrushless for like 2 days, 3 days.
You're and fine.
I was like borrowing people's stuff. Okay, you got any toothpaste?
You used to do the finger thing.
I was like a crackhead. Give me that. I was doing. I did do that. I was like, I could have just gone to the drugstore and bought it, but I'm not that.
No.
They have stores in Philadelphia, I think. It was pathetic. I'm just
used to. Back in the day, golden years.
I got a little bit of stank on me right now, but I can do it.
It's fine.
I'm like washing my armpits every day.
It's fine.
I'm like, J-Lo, don't mind me. Can I get a hug? No pictures. Anyway, that was my American Idol experience. What were we talking about again? Flying.
Guitars.
Oh, yeah,
flying with guitars.
So,
do you remember the United Breaks guitar song? I think
that's
Taylor
what I was
gave
talking
those
about.
guys. Was that 335?
No, I wasn't Taylor. I think it was 335. Yeah. You know, that was the guy it was the guy with the long hair, and he did a song. And
yeah. I think there was some guy that Taylor gave him a new like T5 back in the day too. That might have been all around the same time. Okay, all right.
And as a manufacturer, when that stuff happens and it becomes a stink, they hook them up.
Yeah,
hook a dude up. You guys can do that.
I feel like the guitar companies have always been great about that.
Yeah, I know. I remember like when all the tragedies were happening in Nashville, like from the bombings to the flooding and the tornado. Nashville just got clobbered, and of course, like 5 years, and Gibson was like giving artists guitars.
That's true.
This is pre-pandemic.
Well, and whatever, lots of, things that have happened in Gibson's history that we have even talked about. But yeah, Gibson's always been good at that.
No, so the best way when you are flying is to arm yourself with information. You do pull up that trade rule, have it on your phone ready. If you're going to have to get into like a little huff, check with the airline ahead of time, but they're usually going to say no. But
I have found the more you talk and ask about it, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, it seems like.
You do the confidence and just a little bit of bluster, just like walk through like it's nothing. You can usually slide right on by. Hard cases are another issue.
Like when your friend Carlos flies with his 6-shooters, just walks in.
Well, he's usually wearing tap shoes too, so it's and then the tile floor is like.
You're like, obviously he's supposed to be.
Because he does this weird like tap salsa hybrid thing. It's just certain. He's got this dance partner in I think in Amsterdam named Nero. It's this young kid now that they meet up every once in a while, and it's peculiar.
And they tap.
Because he's a tall, like weird, like really tan kid in Afghanistan. Not in Afghanistan. What am I talking about? Wait a minute, which country am I? Amsterdam. Afghanistan. Same thing.
Yeah.
But
totally the same.
I don't know. But no, he's.
Remember? Yeah,
I think he's Afghani descent. That's probably what was sitting on my mind.
I think that is actually true.
Because like, why are you so pretty? Like, you don't look like the rest of the guys. And he's like, I know, I'm from the chosen. I'm like, yes, you are, brother. But he's a great salsa dancer too, which is really peculiar.
I decide there.
I don't know. Anyway, so Carlos and Nero get to party out
there
in the
go.
world sometimes.
Done.
Anyway, no, but it's being friendly with the gate check people is really nice too. There's just and something too. Like I learned, like, hey, if it looks like they're having a stressful day, show up with a coffee or something.
No.
That's like, hey, I got you this. Or like a pastry's even better because sometimes people are scared to take a hot beverage from you. Like, what'd you do this? Put a roofie in it? Which is also funny to do to gate check people. Here's a roofie.
I have never tried that to bring them a present.
Don't do that. It seems like something to do in Superbad.
It seems like it'd be a horrible idea.
I was thinking like X-Lax. That's what I was more thinking.
No,
one makes you fall asleep. Or if you do both, you fall asleep and poop yourself.
We've all been there.
Any other like advice on like? Cause I did when I took a whole group of kids to Ireland once. We got a bunch of guitars on the plane, and then some we just gate checked.
Yeah.
Like I'd gate check my own because I mean, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's going to break. Probably not. If it's a Fender, you're going to be in good business.
Probably so.
Acoustics, just be careful.
Acoustics are trickier.
They are pressurizing the underneath now, where they didn't used to on most flights, unless you're probably Spirit. Probably they don't pressurize the full cabin either. They've got masks that come down for you. But I'm just kidding, Spirit. I've never flown Spirit. I apologize for that joke. It's just it was easy. It was a low hitting.
It was low hanging.
Low hitting gut.
Low hanging fruit there.
Low hitting gut. Low hanging fruit. I like low hitting gut better.
I like low hanging gut.
That's kind of low hitting gut. It's like those pictures your kids are taking of
like
our
that.
wives. They're like,
like
hey, Taylor, Christy,
Hey, bottom shot, up
back
shot.
fat.
Yeah. Dang.
That's the new name of our cover band, Back Fat.
That'd be great.
Christy Taylor and the Back Fat. Christy Taylor and the Back Fat. That's it.
Bad fat and the
Just like dinosaur pickle.
back fat
Coming
and
back.
the fat back. That's what we need to call
Jesus, that's disturbing.
it. It is.
Yeah, so you can do it. Arm
Fat
yourself with
back.
information. Be confident. Be kind to anyone working at the airplane because they are working a hard job right now, especially with
That
all
is true.
what's going on. And talk to people around you if you get your guitar in there, and like everybody will be helpful about it.
Except for every now and then, there's just people who glare at you because they don't like that you're like getting special treatment with your guitar on the plane. Don't be those people. You're probably not if you're watching this
Yeah,
channel.
if you are one of those people, like, why would you take it? Because it's probably for work. It's usually for work.
I would meet people at the airport and they're like, oh yeah, they think you're just bumming around with a guitar. No.
No,
Making
especially if it's around like certain times in summer and certain times in January. It's NAMM time. You have a bunch of artists getting on the plane to go out to sunny California to go play in those booths to go play in a convention center with no windows and high air conditioning. Oh, it's cold. Anyway.
I will say they're usually pretty good at the Nashville airport. And other than that, the lovely southern ladies in Charlotte have been the most helpful airport ladies ever for
What about
me.
Raleigh? Are you having problems there? Have you had
I'm
problems?
gonna say that I've had the best experience.
What airline was it at Raleigh?
This was Delta, I think.
And Delta's pretty like good, but like
I don't know if this was Delta or United.
That's
I don't
about
know. I didn't buy it. You know what I mean? It's
always
just one of
fly
those
to
things,
Raleigh.
right?
That's
It's
where I
that
go.
things, yeah.
But
sometimes Charlotte is actually closer to me.
God, it's weird.
I know,
That
right?
makes sense, yeah, because you're a little bit west.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's it. Let us know your tips and tactics. Keep that thing on your phone. Be nice. Be prepared. Be confident. It can work for you.
Do it.
Pack your guitar well
And-
too.
That's right. Be prepared for the worst. If you don't ever check it at the not at the gate. Only gate check. Gate check can work, but anyways.
That's it. Otherwise,
There you go. Let us know your tips, how you get your guitars on the plane. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell. We'll see you guys next time.